Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, good morning. This is Jeebs here, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge with another new band, new song, first time listen. This is from the band Vision of Disorder. This comes to us through a Patreon pick. The album is The Cursed Remain Cursed, and the name of the track is Hard Times. As per usual, it's been really fun to get myself back into it this year, year 2 finally. I did stick around, decided I was just going to have more fun, just keep going on this channel. I appreciate your support. You guys know none of these ads monetize the channel, so you want to support the channel if you'd like. Buy me a cup of coffee, you want to check out the hat or the headsets, the links are all down below for your support. I really appreciate it. Also for the Patreon, as well as the merch. I got the new shirts also that came in a few weeks ago. You can find those links down below. So let's go ahead and do this. Hard Times by Vision of Disorder. All right.
Chains and free me from this pain. Crucified by the fire in the devil's hands. Through the sentence, the enemy is gonna take over. Gotta take cover. No escape from the
Man, that's a banging ass riff. Listen to the bass. The bass is not super predominant in the mix. Obviously, the power of the guitar. What a great guitar tones too. That's insane. Listen to the bass, and you saw me kind of doing this here is because it seems like, and I know that there's different ways that bass players can get that particular sound. You know, when I watch the bass player from Korn and stuff, they have that very unique approach where they can hit the strings in a way where you can hear how the strings are just bouncing off of either like the neck or, you know, you hit it hard enough and you get this higher, like crispier tone to the strings. And it also depends how it's EQ'd, which bridge they're playing from, you know, if it's the neck or the bridge pickups. But listen to that. It's insane. You can hear the poppiness and the peak of it in the EQ with the opening of it. That's why I stopped. I got into it, and then I had to kind of dive in and really dive in deep in this. Listen to the kick on this. The kick is nice and punchy and pretty much equal, if not just slightly hotter than the snare, which usually doesn't happen because there's a tone, because of the tone difference here. That kick has got a really kind of like sock in the soul, kind of a punchy sound to it. And then, like I said, the riff is just a monster. Love the vocals. Love where the vocals are placed in the mix and stuff. And it's not an overbearing growl scream where it kind of maybe sets you back and away from the track itself. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, I mean, in my journey last year, I heard bands that had just intense vocal performances by their lead singer, you know, fully screaming, growling in a way that sometimes in the mix, it kind of battled a little bit of the music arrangement for me, you know, personally. Didn't say it sucked, but sometimes it battled it a bit much and kind of pulled away a little bit from what, you know, I'm diving into a little bit more than the music. So, and anyhow, the musicianship is absolutely mental on this. The sound of the kit, I told you, is great. I love the riff and the engineering on this. These stops that are happening that give you like that momentary, it's a nuance. The stops and the silence are an actual nuance in the track that punch the performance up. Instead of it being a wall-to-wall composition, these little stops and stuff, and especially how crispy and clear and clean those stops are. Meaning, like, you know, no tails, no string noises or anything like that. The way this is done, really punches up the power, to me, of this track. Let me go back a little bit here. Let's get back into it.
This is what it feels to be alone. Empty, nameless faces still unknown. Inherit nothing, the curse remain cursed. Serve the sentence, understand the irony is gonna take over. Gotta take cover. Silence. Give me hate, give me love, give me what I fucking deserve. I'll show you hate, I'll show you hurt. I'm less than alive on the street. You're kicking the shit out of me. I spit to the face, no saving grace. Suffer silence. Give me hate, give me love, give me what I fucking deserve. Welcome to hard time. Look around. Tripped up as the pendulum swings. Shadows of evil and the wrath that it brings. Insecurity. The hard times arrive. Back to the wall. Cover the fall. The things you should have known. Oh, you should have known. There's no escape from the pain of Put a bullet in your fucking head. 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 Give me hate, give me love, give me what I fucking deserve.
Dang, I'll give you what you can deserve right here. That was a banging track. This is what I love about this journey, man. This is like I would have never heard of this band had it not been suggested to me. And I love the bust out and that full punk metal. If that's what you would call it, you know, when it really punked up in the rhythm, you know, it felt punk to me. I'm not a seasoned veteran in genres and diving deep, so I'm just as noob kind of in quite a few of these genres, but that punk metal vibe when it went into double time just crushed. But what I really loved is that little section that came in probably, I want to say 20 to 30 seconds before the end, where it was kind of this stop, you know, a quick, you know, chug, but there was this, I don't know if it was a guitar strum that was ringing out, like an ambient kind of vibe to it, while the drum is going and the bass kind of kept a little bit of a kick in it. That kind of stuff right then and there, that they could have done that for like a minute and a half and let that glide, and I totally would have been rinsed in that whole movement. But the fact that that was in there though took me through these little, you know, these vertical lifts, you know, sonically for me. Like the track came in, it was punchy, it was hard, great performance, great engineering, everything I said at the beginning. But what happened was is when we came back in, that punk thing, you know, the double time, they kind of threw in these other types of arrangements in there to kind of take you away from what you think would be kind of a stock written track, especially for a song that's 3 minutes. Sometimes I look at this and say, okay, this song is maybe crafted a little more for easier play, you know, for a broader audience, maybe a Spotify, you know, playlist of sorts, or radio play, if there's such thing as radio play anymore in this genre. But also something else. Did you see me? I was doing this. There was, and it didn't repeat itself. I thought it would repeat itself, but when that riff came back in, or that strumming actual part of the track, there was this really super cool. He only did it once, but it rhythmically was so crisp and so clean. The guitar playing on this was absolutely fantastic. But I definitely have to throw big fat kudos to the engineering on this. The engineering on this was excellent. The separation of the tracks. Remember I was saying quiet doesn't mean dead stop and there's no music completely, but it's achieving these stops with the guitars without having any of the, you know, nuances or artifacts ringing out past it. And a lot of people in the music industry, producers, engineers, know that you can, you know, take a WAV file and clip it, anything, whatever it is. It worked perfect here, and it played into the super creative rhythmical arrangements on this. fivefold. You do that right, and something that is just what you might think a very just cool riff can double up, triple up in power because of the way those stops are engineered and stuff, and the kick and the whole drum kit sounded sick. And finally, once again, the vocals, you know, didn't have, you know, a standout melody, but the performance was absolutely epic and standout. But I loved the layering they did in certain areas as well. So this was great. This is what I love this channel all about. You know, because I'm an old composer decomposing in front of you, but I feel like a 20-year-old kid, you know, going into the, you know, the metal hard, you know, the hard metal box and going, whoa, what do we got here? And makes it all good for me, man. Anyhow, thank you for hanging out, watching this video. Please remember with the suggestions, just put them in there. I'm on this trajectory of doing a lot of new bands. I'm drifting back into the bands I've done in the past and some of the ones that are a little more obviously famous, without a doubt. But this year I'm going to be drifting into the newer stuff here, as you can see. And once again, thank you for the support. If you don't feel like supporting me with coffee, or go to Patreon, and at least if you go to Patreon, if you decide to parachute in there for one month, at least you get a bunch of really super fun stuff. And there's some great, I just did between the Buried and Me, I just did a really great track over there. I think, what was it? Oh shit, sorry, brain farting. Madness, Injury, and How Do You Do? No, but I don't know, but it was a great track. But if you don't feel like you want to, you know, hang out and support me in that nature, well, then I can at least thank you for sharing out the videos as you do, because I'm finding out a lot of people are doing that, and that is super cool too. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed the track here, and I got another one coming at you for Saturday. Take it easy. All right. All right.